So now, my friends, when we can finally see, feel and understand that we are actually celebrating something over here, that we are celebrating World of Tanks 10th anniversary, you can see this beautiful garage hangar or festival parking spot in the middle of the square, in the middle of the open field, with our tanks, right? You can see this beautiful atmosphere around us. You can feel that something is going on. And even though they released the article confirming one of the leaks which is shared a couple days ago, that they are actually going to lower all the tier 6 to tier 7 and 8 premium vehicles prices by 10 to 13% permanently, forever. Even after all those shiny things, there are still many baits out there, and I want to share some of those baits with you. Some premium tanks which you definitely should avoid like fire. There actually are quite a few premium tanks like that which you definitely should avoid and you should not spend your money on if you were thinking about buying any premium tanks in this game in the first place, supporting this game with your hard-earned cash. You have to come up with that decision yourself if you think this game is in good enough of a state to deserve your money. I hate to break it to you, but I am not your mom. I am not your dad, not your brother, your sister, your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend. I am just a random dude who is trying to save you some money, maybe informing you about some of the premium tanks in this game you definitely should not buy. I'm not getting paid by Wargaming. I'm not working for Wargaming. I am here to state my own opinion. I'm an independent YouTube channel, and I like it that way, so it doesn't bond me to anything. We'll see how this episode goes, how you take it, how you like those type of videos. If you want to see more, because we actually have quite a lot of those type of premium tanks in this game where you definitely should not open your wallet at, then let me know in the comments or hitting that like, dislike button. Give me some kind of feedback at least. And by the way, all of this is based on my experience, my personal opinion about those vehicles. You have to keep that in mind. And I understand every single tank can have its own fan base and has its own fan base. I may hate one vehicle, you may like it. I may like one vehicle, you may hate it. But I am here talking from my own experience, basing on some statistics as well, so to be a bit more professional, you know. I'm trying to help out especially new players over here. So in today's episode, in this first pilot episode, let's see how this goes, right? I am going to talk about two French vehicles. We actually have so many more premium tanks which I do not recommend buying, but I do not want to make one episode like 10 hours long episode. Anyway, two very old premium tanks from France. The first one is going to get the main focus in today's episode because this is a definitely no-buy batch from me for all the players, for new players, for experienced players. Well, it is just not very good premium tank, ladies and gentlemen. You can spend your money in way better ways. But the second tank in today's episode, as I'm going to mention that a bit later as well, is a definite no-buy for new players, but experienced players, for example, can have a lot of fun in it. I actually do like it, but once again, new players, no-go. So AMX CDC is going to be our first vehicle, which is definitely a no-buy for all the players, but especially for new players and average players and under average players, because you are not able to get your money's worth out from this vehicle like the player on the background can do. I was thinking about showing you like most of the average battles. By the way, this is perfect shot, what you just witnessed. Perfect shot. One AP round from Super Hellcat, tier 7 tank destroyer, destroyed CDC's ammo rack, and destroyed CDC's driver. This is what you see many people doing too. But what I was going to say before, I was thinking about showing you the average battles with CDC, but those are always super boring. People are not able to be extremely aggressive with it, and when they are aggressive, they are simply going to die very quickly. So this battle actually features everything what is good about this tank and everything what is bad about this tank as well. You just saw that it is so extremely critically damage prone vehicle. It takes them in like absolutely nothing, you know. every single shot can be a critical hit into CDC. And another example you just witnessed was ramming. Light tank LT-432 rammed CDC tier 8 medium tank, and basically they did equal damage. Light tank into medium tank and they did equal damage. CDC can do more, and CDC did more, and could do even more than it did. I think it did 348, but the target simply died. It would have done even more, but you get the point what I'm trying to say. And HE shells, yet another thing which is not very, very welcomed when you are playing with CDC. Artillery and HE rounds. In this battle, one of the main reasons maybe why this battle is going to be such a special battle is no artillery. So yeah, enjoy it on the background while I talk more about this vehicle. By the way, getting penetrated by every single round over here, basically every single round, because this tank doesn't have any armor, and you are going to get penetrated by every single tank. So what gets new players, especially new players, and like all the average players as well, into problems, into trouble when playing with AMX CDC is the mobility. This tank, believe it or not, but has 1,200 horsepower engine, ladies and gentlemen, giving AMX CDC 35.29 horsepower per ton power to weight ratio, 57 top speed, 20 reverse speed. That mobility alone is absolutely amazing, but it is a curse and a blessing at the same time. It is a curse because it gets you into trouble. You think you're able to be aggressive, you think you are taking key positions fast, but if you do not know how to play in those key positions, it is going to be your curse, because you die just like that. No matter what. It doesn't have armor, as I said. Both hull and turret are equally armored. 30 in the front, 20 on the sides, and 20 in the rear. Basically everything is able to overmatch it, able to penetrate it with HE rounds as well. Oh boy, I love shooting AMX CDCs with HE round, and it is so easy to do as well, because let's talk about yet another flaw, which is the size. If you don't know how big this vehicle is, let me actually show it to you in the game, comparing CDC to some other tier 8 premium tanks. Just take a look at that, and yeah, if you didn't know that, now you do. Gun handling, let's talk about the firepower. It is actually okay. It could be a lot better, of course. DPM for this type of tank should be better. 240 alpha damage, 212 penetration with standard rounds. But the aiming time, 2.2 seconds, okay. The accuracy, 0.34 is okay, and all those things. Moving tank traverse and turret rotation traverse accuracies should be a lot better. Those soft stats are very bad for this type of vehicle, so this actually kills it. Hidden gun stats are very bad, actually. What else? The gun depression is really good, minus 10 degrees of gun depression, but it doesn't matter. This vehicle is just so big, even if you are hull down, everything is able to penetrate you no matter what. And finally, let's look at some of the statistics as well, how this vehicle is performing overall on different servers. On EU server, for example, 201,000 players have played with CDC, and the average win ratio is 49.14. Well, let's be honest, over here, win ratio doesn't show too many things, because the more vehicles we have on servers, the more same vehicles we have in the matchmaking in the queue, the closer the win rate is going to be towards 50% anyway. What I mean by that is simple. If one team has CDC and if the enemy team has CDC, one team loses, another team wins. The average win ratio for the vehicle is what? 50%. But the average damage and overall performance on all the servers is actually one of the lowest ones. On EU, for example, 927 average damage. On Russian server, 458,000 players have played with it, actually 872 average damage, and average amount of battles per player account is actually 404, so 404 average battles per player and still 872 average damage. Well, that shows something, right? And on NA, close to 50,000 players own it and 908 average damage and still sub 50% win ratio. So CDC is one of those vehicles which I definitely do not recommend and do not spend. You should not spend your money on, especially if you are a new player. And I would say same goes to the older players, because you can make you can do what CDC can do in many different premium tanks in a lot easier way, ladies and gentlemen. But moving on into the next vehicle, or in this case actually it is going to be a honorable mention in this type of episode, where I say please do not spend your money on those tanks, do not buy those vehicles. And the honorable mention is FCM 50t. Now, while CDC was over here with a clear message to everyone, do not buy that vehicle, AMX CDC is just garbage. Like, think about that vehicle what you want, it is a garbage. Then FCM 50t, well, I definitely do not recommend, 100% I do not recommend, do not buy, stamp on it for new players and average, under average players. Then average plus players or experienced players can have some fun in it, because I actually still kinda like it. I remember when FCM 50t was one of the better premium tanks in this game, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen. When this tank actually first came out, it was one of the strongest tier 8 premium tanks in this game. Imagine that, right? How meta has changed in this game. It was the OG, one of the first, if not the first, heavy and medium tank hybrids in this game. So it looks like a heavy tank, it has heavy tank DAC, but it plays more like a medium tank, and especially in nowadays world of tanks, where armor, it has some extra armor, but it has absolutely no value. The best feature about this vehicle is the mobility. It is a heavy tank with 1,250 horsepower, 23.05 horsepower per ton, 51 top speed, 20 reverse speed, -10 degrees of gun depression, 400 meter view range, better DPM than CDC, but gun handling is a bit worse. Same penetration, same alpha damage, but still, ladies and gentlemen, even after all those good things I just said, no, put your wallets away. I say couple good words about the premium tank and you are already, no, Wargaming, please, take my credit card. No, I dropped my credit card actually. Put that away into your wallet like I'm doing right now, can you hear it? Sliding in, and put your wallet away, because today's episode is about premium tanks you should not buy. Even after all those good words I said about this tank, there are still so many better options out there, even in the French tech tree. Looking at Lorraine, Saumur, AMX M4 MLE 49, a lot more forgiving tanks, especially for newer players. Even AMX CDA is better, because it has quite a nice gun. Revoloris is better, 390 alpha damage on a premium medium tank. Like, so many better options out there when we're only comparing it to the French vehicles, because it is a heavy tank with 120 millimeters frontal turret armor. 120 millimeters frontal armor overall. It has some slope to it, but in nowadays world of tanks it is never going to bounce anything. By the way, look at this guy bullying that issue. Ooh, beautiful, isn't it? Russian bias gets bullied by FCM 50t. By the way, as you can see on the barrel, once again the player knows exactly what to do with this vehicle, how to play with it. Every single sheep has its day. 3 mark of excellence duct tapes on the barrel, so player has a lot of experience in it, and if you have a lot of experience in this game overall, you can make this tank work. But I definitely do not recommend this tank for newer players, for average, under average players. And finally, statistically speaking, it is performing a lot better as well on all servers. On EU, 1100 average damage. On Russian server, 1243 average damage. 627 battles on average per player's account who own it actually. So quite crazy numbers. And on NA, 1036 average damage. But still, message what I said before remains the same. So, ladies and gentlemen, my today's episode, this type of episode, trying to save you some money over here. I don't know, let me know what you think about that. Would you like to see more in the future? We have more tanks like that in the future. Maybe I should go over nation by nation or something like that. I do not want to make those episodes like 1 hour long episode, otherwise no one would bother watch it anyway. So let me know in the comments section down below. Give me some feedback. back, beautiful people. Stay tuned for more action by hitting that subscribe button and notification squad if you want to be even more ultra sexy. By the way, I get you next time. As always, beautiful people, stay awesome, stay subscribed, stay sexy. Take care and bye.